Hello, and welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? We love a Sunday special, right?
Love a Sunday special, a little bite-sized episode. If this is your first time ever listening to You Up, welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Summarize who you are.
I am Jared Freed, local idiot. Who
Comedian.
Talks at it. Comedian, yeah, I do
Court
some
jester.
funnies. Court jester. Jester to the Stars, Netflix special you can watch right now called 37 and Single.
Plug
That's
City.
right, Plug City. Going to be taping another special with Betches on the 18th. Tickets go out for Tarrytown.
Can I say I am so excited for this special to be taped and to get out in front of the masses.
Thank you.
I've seen it twice.
Yes.
I've told everyone I know to see it.
appreciate it.
Everyone who I've told to see it is like, this is next level.
Thank you.
This is so tight. This is so funny. They're laughing the entire time. I haven't had anyone see it who didn't text me. I didn't text anyone after I
Right.
told them to see it. I didn't text them and say, what'd you think? Proactive texts.
Thank you.
Amazing. It's just saying like how great it was, how far you've come over the years.
Yeah,
People
well,
who have followed you forever.
Right. It does feel like a piece from my heart,
Yes.
so to speak. It is me. You know, I said this before. You do stand up when you start, you're just trying to like get people to laugh in any way you can. And then you get the opportunities to put that material out there in any way you can. And then when I taped the special, I was like at 0. And now I'm
Look at you now.
38 when it comes out, you know, and like, what are you going to talk about, Jared? Well, I'm going to talk about being 38 and me and what I want to joke about. And that's what this is. So it's very cool that you enjoy it. And
Of course, yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
very cool for me. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
To have just seen, because I feel like I've been watching your stand-up for
Long time.
at least 10 years, I think, maybe more.
A decade.
Perhaps
a decade
15,
of laughs.
perhaps almost 15. And it's just great to see how far you've come. And obviously, I always thought you were hysterical, but I think you're just how much you've grown and how finely tuned you've done the craft over the years is just really cool to see as someone who's been with you the whole time. And I'm sure for anyone else who's
No, that
listening,
means
who's a
lot.
fan.
It means a lot to hear. It's hard to take a compliment. I appreciate it.
Well,
but
it's
thank
true.
you. It's yeah, I want people to see it. I want people to enjoy it. And it's like the coolest part for me is that it's like it's about my family and to see people like really relate to it.
Oh, yeah.
To their family and their dynamic. That's cool. I never thought of like that being my place in comedy. Like I was just like, I'll make the jokes. It'll be funny.
Oh, totally.
And this feels like who I am, and it really relates to me. The relatability factor. Like,
Huge relatability. And honestly, obviously, I have a very different kind of family than you have, but I still find it relatable. And even the things
Right.
that I don't find relatable are still extremely funny.
you've met these people,
Yes.
and I think
I know of these
right.
people.
You've seen these
Yes.
people out in the wild. It's a 1-hour story about going to the beach with my parents. So that's it. That's the tale. And it's
We're excited to be a part of the
and
second.
It means a lot
one.
that Betch is a part of it, and I think anyone who is even in the universe of the Betches world will like love it and enjoy it.
Totally.
So,
Are the tickets?
yeah.
So the tickets are out.
So they're not
now,
out
they're
yet.
almost out.
When does this come out? No, this week is pre-sale. They do this whole pre-sale, post-sale thing,
I
but
know
it's
you
gonna
hate
sell
that.
out. I hate it. It's annoying because you have to like go out and you put it out on your own, and then they say, "Well, do this code," and then someone goes, "The code doesn't work."
Right.
And it's like,
then you're now like the tech.
right,
Tech guy.
I'm tech guy, loser, idiot. You know, whatever. Tech guy's not a loser, but like I'm the idiot. Like I
No,
don't know anything.
I see what you're saying because it's like we get this sometimes with the show where it's like you'll get DMs being like, the show isn't loaded correctly or there's an editing issue, and it's like we're not, like
it's not
now
my problem, but it is my
Yes,
problem.
it is our problem because we want you to make sure you're enjoying the show. But sometimes it is a you problem where you haven't refreshed the feed. But then you're like, you don't want to ignore the person. But then you're
Right.
also like, I'm not like the tech person, but it also might be a you problem.
Right. And like last time we taped the special at Gramercy Theater, and that was like New York City, easy to like tell people, hey, come on out. It was a Thursday night or something. And now we're going to like a bigger theater.
Yes, I can't wait for the questions. Jared,
Tarrytown,
where's
which
the
is
park?
in Westchester.
What's the parking situation?
Oh my God, I'm gonna get so many. We're
Is
doing it
there
on a
food?
Saturday to make it easy on people, but it's gonna be a December Saturday in Westchester. So like, I really do need people to be able to get tickets and be a part of it. I want it to be, a blast. I want to show through the screen, the crowd dying, laughing, all that stuff. So
I can't wait, and I'll be there. Even though
Yes.
I have to say, if you listen to the benefits episode, my car still smells for my smoothie.
Really?
I got a full car wash.
Even a detail?
I think it's got to. What is the difference between a detail and a car wash?
Someone goes in your car with like a little scrubber, like one of those pussy scrubbers we talked about on last week's episode.
It takes all the cum out of my car.
Takes the cum right out.
Right out. Where do you go for that? Like the dealership?
Yeah, you go to like a detail place. Like these are places that you leave your car and you go away. It's like you left your dog.
I got the car wash. I thought that would be enough.
The outside? That's a different.
No, the inside. They do the inside too.
No, you need like.
I do because it's a smell.
It's smelling.
It's a smell.
And
it was
now
fine
Mike
at first.
Probably brings it up all the time.
Oh yeah, he's so
stunk up the car.
He's so annoyed. And I went to get the car. I was like, "Look at me! I went to get the car wash. I'm responsible, and it still smells." So yeah, the smoothie that I drank in my car 3 weeks ago is ruining my life.
This is the benefits episodes you're missing, people.
Yes, if you know, you know. Sorry,
if you know, you know. It's great. Listen. That would annoy me too. Smell. Yeah. You just want the car to be comfortable and not make you feel like you're a gross pig.
Yeah, and it's not. It's making me feel like I don't know how to do anything in life. Just every time I get into it, and then we both say, "Yeah, there's still a smell."
Yeah, and now you have to just agree there's a smell that was your fault.
And then and he's not. He's like, let it go, but he's like
no,
there's the
that's
smell.
there forever.
I've got to figure out if you're listening and you have a tip on how to get a smell out of your car from something you spilled a while ago and you tried to clean up as well as you possibly could.
Car detail Long Island.
Okay.
That's
and
where
they're gonna go in the crevices.
They're gonna come in with that pussy Q-tip and wipe it all up.
Can't wait.
What else is going on?
Pretty much just the smoothie.
Just the smoothie.
That's it. That's a pretty exciting life.
I got here so early today.
You've been working.
I've been working. I really came into the Betcher's coal mine.
You think you were a full-time employee?
You would think I got health care here. I came in here. I immediately spilled a coffee all over my body.
Okay, so this is a great disgusting catch-up.
It's a big disgusting catch-up.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
you
spilled coffee.
Directly onto my lap.
I mean, good. You're wearing all black.
I know.
Great day for
but
that.
I smell like espresso and
I haven't
vanilla.
smelled anything.
I smell like.
At least you didn't spill it in a car.
That'd be a lot worse. Yeah, I wouldn't want my car to smell like this.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely need I gotta.
Coffee smells pretty good.
It's not bad. I think it's better when you're drinking it, not when you're wearing it.
That's fair.
I think that's
a little overwhelming.
A little bit. I'm on the road, also getting ready for this special.
Yeah, where are you going?
I am going.
Done with Boise.
Boise is done. We're done with Boise. We are going to. I was just in Indianapolis. If you're listening now, thank you for coming. And I'm going to be Austin, Texas, Raleigh, St. Louis, Mo, Dania Beach, back to Dania, Des Moines.
Is Dania Beach like very rich?
No, it's like, well, I don't know. I would say Dania Beach is in between Fort Lauderdale and Boca.
Oh, okay.
So it's like this like weird new area. It's like a
on the
newly
water?
built up area. It must be. It says beach. All I know is that I went to do the shows at Dania Beach last time, and it's like a new mallish area, and everyone's like, that used to be the Boomers. And Boomers used to be like the place your
generation?
parents. No, the Boomers was the go-kart, low end. It was like where your parents took you in Florida to like shut you up. It was like go-karts and roller coasters, and they had batting cages, and they were like, so everyone, you're like, oh, I'm at Dania Beach. They're like, that's where the Boomers used to be. We love the Boomers. And it's like, you've ruined their day.
Sounds like a double entendre, right? Because that's probably where the Boomers used to be.
That's right. So it'd be like, that's where the old people are. No, the Boomer, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But there in that area, everyone knows Boomers.
Right.
That's usually, my parents used to bring me there. They'd be like, okay, go to the arcade.
Oh, you've been there too?
Up.
Okay.
Yeah. Growing up, like, we go on vacation to Florida. Let's do a day at Boomers.
Mm. Well, anyway, enjoy Dania Beach.
We got until November.
Oh.
So we got some time.
Got some time.
But otherwise, what's going on with you? Oversharing? I listen to some predicament. People are really having issues out there.
People have a lot of problems. People have a lot of problems with their mother-in-laws.
The mother-in-law
with the brides.
The brides and mother-in-law ones kind of make me like sit back and like cross my arms and smile. Like I go,
Yes.
look at you women.
Well,
Can't get along.
I don't know if you were a member of this group, but do you remember in COVID we had a Betches Brides Facebook group? Were you in there?
I actually, the Betches Brides Facebook group, like the infighting got so bad that I think you or someone, one of the Betches,
You had to shut it down.
you guys were like, you got to just go check this out. And
I think
went,
I said
and,
it,
and
yes.
I went and joined. And it was
Betches
like
Brides.
all I did was read Betches Brides.
I joined too. This was before I was even engaged.
It was so wild, the arguments and the passion, the
Sometimes
anger.
I would have a little snack and just scroll. It was like the most interesting thing I had. So dramatic.
So dramatic. And like what people thought was okay to write.
With their name behind it.
With their name
it's
behind it,
not even
right.
like Reddit where you have a troll
Right.
who like is anonymous.
Right. It's not like I hate Jared 69.
I love that. That's a great
sucks.
username. You
Someone
should
should
take
pick that
it.
up. But yeah, because you would read this and you'd be like, wow, this person, like, I can't believe they thought this was gonna fix it. Like,
and then the fighting in the comments.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, someone would be like, it would be like about like, this veil. Like, does anyone have a good veil company? And someone would write in, I think COVID's fake. And he'd be like, what? And you're like, how did you think that this was appropriate?
I remember someone wrote in this was my favorite post. Someone wrote write a post and they wrote, can someone help me? I'm trying to get Chick-fil-A for my after party for my wedding, blah, blah, blah. And then someone responds like, good luck with your COVID infested racist chicken after party, you fucking bitch. And I was like, I need more.
That's like ridiculous.
Amazing though, right?
It's amazing. I don't know. It is funny the emotional swing. Like some comments I'm depressed by. I'm like, I fucking hate that we live in this society. Bring me back to 1995. Just end it all. And then some comments you see like that and you're like, keep the fire burning.
Right.
Yeah, this is
I'll watch the world burn.
I can't wait. Give me more.
Yes, need popcorn. But anyway, we had to disable that group. Sorry, it doesn't exist anymore. It was.
That's how bad it got.
That's how bad it was. To me, we took it away.
That should be like a JD Vance political commercial. Like they'd be like,
bring back the Betches Brides Facebook group. What does this country come to?
They just take excerpts and they show it on the screen. This is what your fellow neighbor who wants this type of, I don't know. It's just, I couldn't believe it. Like I wish there was a camera on me.
The fact that you joined is just incredible
I joined
too.
I love shit like that.
Not
like
exactly the target demo.
I'm aging into my friends' suburban stories are way more interesting to me than any city stories.
Well, it's like you're back in high school, so I kind of get it. There's a lot more drama and like small, like town things that are going on.
The towny shit is awesome. I had someone, I get reports just from all angles. Like you wouldn't believe what's going on in this town. I hear from like college, high school friends, and they're just like telling me the stories because again, I have no one to go to with it.
Yeah,
like
I mean the city is very anonymous.
Yes,
there's no like groups or cliques or communities.
I have a friend who's coaching like his kids, baseball team, and then he was stacking the lineup to make sure that his kid's team was better than everyone else's team.
Wow,
and
corrupt.
He ranked his own kid as being a worse athlete so that he could get up better. It was awesome. I was like,
didn't pick his kid for the booster team.
Right? The kid was like, why'd you rank me so low? He's like, don't worry about it, kid. I don't know. This is the type of stuff where I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't so late to all this.
Right. Maybe you should just get married just for that.
That's kind of what I'm looking to do.
Just to get into like one of these communities so you can have more people to talk shit about.
I think that's the only reason I want to be in a serious relationship is to see the next episode of issues that I don't care about anything. Right. Like I complain a lot, but like about nothing. Like I just want to be with someone who's dealing with all of this garbage.
Is that why you go home? Like your parents?
Yeah, I like hearing what my parents are dealing. My parents have been on a cruise for a month. My dad goes, I go, how is it? He goes, well, the friend, I guess like part of the cruise was with people from their community and then like now they're alone on the cruise.
Right.
And my dad's like, oh, all the friends left, so no more drama. I'm like, what drama? You're 89 years old.
Amazing.
Like, what is going on? And my dad goes, everyone got COVID. And then your mom is trying to figure out who got COVID first and who you got it from. I'm like, she's tracking it to patient zero. Like, and she does do that. She loves to go, you got me sick. And it's like, how do you even know how this all happened? But that's the type of stuff that I like. I love to hear that. I want to
be back in a bubble.
Yeah, I want to be in a relationship where I can be back in a bubble and hear like people get really upset about stuff that I don't care at all about.
You just want to get married so you can listen to someone talk shit about everyone else around you for the rest of your life.
And I want to be removed from it. I don't want to be in it.
Yeah, that's the best way.
I want to be reported
that's
to.
That's the Betches Brides way.
Right.
Yes.
I want to be me watching Betches Brides. Like that's my dream life.
Yeah, none of the consequences of the drama, just getting the entertainment.
I want actually people in the drama to go, you know who never gets involved?
Jared.
Well, Jared. And then, but I know everything and I've talked to everybody.
You're the Yenta.
Right. I'm the puppet Yenta.
Yes.
I'm just behind the scenes.
Pulling strings.
My dad's kind of that way. He knows about everything going on, but he doesn't want to be involved.
Right.
That's kind of where I want to be.
Okay.
It's
a big dream for you. I hope you get it.
One day. Is there a woman out there
who's interested in that?
Who's interested in me not helping her at all?
But just listening?
I'm a good listener.
You are a good listener. And you'll contribute a funny line.
I'll say some funny stuff every now and again.
Yeah.
Depends. But and I'll give you ideas. It's like this podcast. People write in.
We're not helpful.
We'll give ideas. I don't have to do anything.
Right. None of the consequences.
All the decision making.
That's true.
You know?
It's a great place to be. How lucky are we?
What are we talking about today?
Let's do a petty or prudent.
I love a petty or prudent.
Me too.
This is kind of what I'm talking about. My, future wife. Hey, I did this today at the grocery store. Do you think I was being an asshole?
The woman in front of me cut me off.
Right. I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what I did.
And I'll just look at her in the face. I'll go, bitch.
Petty. Bitch. Okay. Ready? All right. Hi, J&J, new listener, and I love hearing your takes on ridiculous dating situations. I'm hoping you can help with my current situation.
Hit us.
Very often when I'm seeing someone, I'll share one or more of my streaming passwords with them. It just makes sense. They get to see the kind of shows they like. We can watch things together or stagger due to crazy schedules. And usually there's a trade. You get my Showtime and I get your Disney.
All right.
So we're all winners.
We like you.
But, eventually you shake hands and part ways. In the best of situations, I will say.
I bid you adieu.
Do you shake hands? Have you ever shaken hands with anyone?
With a woman?
Yeah.
I don't. What am I? I'm a man.
And in the spirit of future friendship.
With a woman? I'm losing it. I've been doing this for too
a while.
long.
Yeah. And in the spirit of future friendship.
Coffee stain freed over here.
All right. But, eventually you shake hands and part ways. And in the spirit of future friendship, I don't change the password to the service. Sometimes they'll even make their own profiles if we're still being situational. Okay. However, it gets to be an issue when I start seeing someone I really like and they want to know who all these guys are watching shows. Who all these guys are watching shows on my services.
What are you, one of these streaming whores?
How many guys have the don't they max you out on a certain number of profiles? She's a streaming slutty.
Right, yeah.
Slutty streamer. Sometimes it's fairly...
This is a Curb episode.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fairly obvious that someone else is controlling my viewing algorithm. I just don't watch that much professional poker.
What's with all this porn? How'd porn even get on Showtime?
I'm worried that if I change up passwords, I'm going to hurt some feelings and come off as being petty. But if I keep giving them access, I could potentially hurt a new relationship. I have pretty good relationships with my exes, but maybe that's because they don't want to lose Hulu. It's such a silly thing. What are your thoughts? Thanks for doing what you do. Sucks at streamlining. So I guess she's saying, like,
would
it be petty or prudent to change the password after you break up with someone in a friendly way?
The relationship ends, the streaming service ends.
Agreed.
That's it.
Prudent.
Nothing petty about that. Hey, she even says handshake and move on. It seems like she's afraid of someone talking badly about her after the breakup. And it's like, if
just too much of a people pleaser.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
I think you gotta roll this back. I think literally, to me, hey, we're ended. When you have a conversation about ending, if you switch the password, they're gonna go, of course.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. If you, I mean,
Right.
I also wouldn't give them access that soon. Is another part of it. I mean, I guess you do what you do. You.
I get the fun of what she's talking about, where it's like you get to like, we can see what you're watching. We can watch shows together. Oh, you got, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
guess.
passwords are like a relationship thing. I just like wouldn't give someone the password to a service. Like they can buy their own streaming service for the duration of you dating.
My parents are always like, "What's the password to this?" I'm like, "I am not spending the day getting you into my Disney Plus." Like,
I don't
we
feel
can't
like
do
you'd
that.
be good at that either.
No, I'm not good at doing any. My parents asked me to do something, then laugh that they asked me to do something.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
I'm
see
like,
you
No.
being like, oh, I can't figure out how to get into the system.
No, I'm not helping you with the clicker. I'm not helping you with the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna look at it for like 10 minutes. My dad's gonna go, "You asked him. He doesn't know how to do anything." This is like how it goes every time. The streaming thing is like, no, I'm with you. I don't really share that shit.
Yeah, that's for relationships. If you're dating someone seriously, give them the password to your streaming service.
Yeah, and it's okay to end it. It's not petty.
Totally. Yeah.
At all.
Switch that password.
Do
I
it.
think it's petty for them to say something
Right, I agree with you.
or
If
to
they
not
were like-
expect that you would.
Right, you go listen. I think I had someone's like dad's ESPN account on my computer for like a decade.
Yeah.
Like it's like a guy. It was like a long time. So I was getting access to all like the things you couldn't read without the paying.
Okay.
And one day I remember it went away, and I went, "Oh,
Okay.
we had a good run."
Yeah.
I
What, you
think
gonna text
that was-
him?
right. Hey, guy I was abroad with in college. Can you tell your dad to stop being such a such a cheapie?
Yeah.
Like
Cut all ties.
Yeah. What streamers do you have?
I have Netflix.
Okay.
I think I use Sammy's Peacock app.
Okay.
Don't come for me, Peacock.
Yeah.
I use Aileen's HBO.
So you guys are sharing.
We've shared, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the three of us. I mean, we run a business together, so our finances
least-
are already intertwined. I'm on Aileen's HBO. I'm on Sammy's Peacock. I think
Are
we're on
they on
Mike's
your-
Brothers Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah, we have our own Netflix.
I'm sitting
Hulu,
here. I'm getting
paying for all your own
everything.
You don't even watch TV,
I have them all.
even though you don't watch them.
I watch movies a lot. more.
Moneybags.
Yeah, that's me.
Do you have stars?
No.
I feel like if someone has stars, they're like really rich.
Right. They've really like lost control.
They have a spending problem.
The one I wish I always had was Apple. I don't have Apple, but everyone that has Apple has like favorite shows on there. But it never
Apple
seems
has
like.
those are quality shows. You
Yeah.
should get Apple TV. Do you want ours?
Are we there yet?
Well, I think so.
Oh, that would be
Doing
what
this
a moment
podca-
for us.
Doing this podcast almost 7 years. I'll give you Eileen and Sammy's passwords too.
Thank you. Well, I always thought it was weird that you don't get like a free. I'm on a Peacock show. I'm a voice
Yeah,
on a
they
show.
should-
Give
I mean,
me a fucking.
What kind of agents do you have? They didn't
What's
put that
what's
in your
going on?
contract?
I'm on Netflix too. Give me one of those.
In perpetuity. In perpetuity.
That's what I want.
yes.
Next contract.
Forget residuals.
No.
You just want a subscription.
Well, I always thought that it was funny to go to we go to Cannes and Spotify sent us to Cannes, and then while we were there, I got you've been charged by Spotify, and I was like. Isn't this weird?
I kind of
was
agree.
like-
I actually thought about that when I was listening to Spotify the other day. Like, I still pay for this.
Right. We're representatives of the company a little bit.
Right. If you're listening Spotify, which
We'll
I'm sure
take a
you
free
are
one.
because you're fans of the show because you invited us to Cannes, give us the code for the access.
The VIP code.
Yes.
All right, let's do an email. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Hey, J&J. A freshly plucked, never used peacock feather to both your nethers.
Now you know this is a man.
Love it. Longtime dude listener. I'm in mid-40s. Found my match after dating since about 2017. We're buying a house together, wedding bells. Things are great.
Sounds
So
great.
why would he be writing in? Except for the way I met my wedding house girl. Specifically, how I dated to find her. After exiting a 10-year relationship that stalled at engagement, I had a lot of back-to-back 3 to 5 month relationships. Serial monogamy, some call it. Probably.
I wouldn't call that serial monogamy.
Yeah, I would call that that would
Dating.
make me a serial monogamist.
Yeah. I would say that I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I actually think that's more like fuckboy than serial monogamous.
Excuse me.
Not that you're that, but I'm just saying, like, I think it leans closer to that than serial monogamist is like, I'm in a 4-year relationship, and then I'm in a 2-year relationship, and then I'm in a 3-year relationship. Or
we're aligned. I agree with that. Probably did that with 10 women. 10 women over 3 to 5 month relationships.
That's how many years? Like 3 years?
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. The numbers would be more normal than maybe someone would admit.
This actually sounds like pretty standard to me. I would say before I got married, I was probably in 10 3-monthers.
Right. And I would say that's not serial monogamous, but it's also not fuckboy. It's just you're dating
that's
10
fair.
women. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, depending on how you do it,
right.
But generally speaking. Yeah.
Probably did that with 10 women before I found Wedding House. I'm sure she loves being called Wedding House.
Every woman loves being called a house.
Oh, Wedding House over here. Old bag of bricks.
Just say my fiance.
Yeah.
At mid-40s, Wedding House.
Yeah. With this mansion of a woman over here.
Oh, my God.
Sprinkle in a few hypersexual mini disasters. Being single was mostly fun. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how these 3 to 5 monthers would end not well. I think it's because by 40, I knew exactly what I was looking for. A values match, a humor match, hey, that's interesting match. Just as important as was a sex match. I knew I'd be a good match with a woman who preferred sex 3 times a week. 2 if necessary. 1 if someone broke a bone. Okay, and not to kiss and tell, but fuck it. I knew I needed a woman who gets slick like a tanker spill, gets lost in sex, is super vocal, and has orgasms from penetrative sex. Quite a Tinder bio.
And has orgasms from like, that's a
very
hard
specific.
line that he's picking. Okay.
I gotta feel like a man. Like, I don't know, it's a little...
Doing a little bit of an eye roll here, but...
I'm with you.
Fine.
I'm close to the... I know he's like... wants to like
Mr.
high five
Dude, bro,
me.
he's trying a little hard to like high five you.
It feels a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're feeling it too. I get what he's saying. Like, I want to feel sexually compatible, but
just
like,
say that.
like
Right, you don't have to talk like Tucker Max. Like,
Right.
You could just say that.
This is a lot. No shame to women who can't.
Except for I just won't date you.
Right. I don't even know how you say this to someone. If you can't come from penetrative sex, I just can't talk to you. Like,
Well, I will learn that's his problem. Right?
Right. This is why they ended so badly.
Yeah.
I'm just stating, I know shame to women who can't. I'm just stating specifics because those really were things I was looking for. I don't know if you were looking for them or did you say them outright, but like.
Also, like, are you?
I don't know.
I think that he's a little bit delusional about a lot of people.
Right. I think he's delusional about himself. The idea that you would have all these connections, but they didn't come the way you liked,
right?
Then you would end it. Like,
Are these in his vows?
Right. If that's the case, it's like, dude.
He might think he's the issue.
You know why I married her? The way she comes.
I mean, it's one thing to be like, I highly value having a good sex life.
Different,
right?
different.
Having a sexually adventurous life.
Right.
Or having an active sex life.
Yeah.
Fine. These things are so specific. They're almost like.
Well, they're all so specific.
I think they're like objectified almost.
Yeah, and they're also, it's so specific that it's actually, you're not a free sexual person.
Right.
You know, it's almost restricted.
You're actually kind of anal.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
So he writes, because those are really things I was looking for, and I suspect many men have specific sex checkboxes.
Jared, do you have specific sex checkboxes?
Not as specific as this. I have like, I think
you would say I was a value
open, and
right.
I value being sexual and communicative and, you know, having fun with that, but I don't think like I'd be like
must orgasm from penetrative sex.
That's wild.
Is this The Handmaid's Tale?
Right. What's going on here?
This guy needs a therapist. Sorry.
This sounds like an actual JD Vance political commercial. Is this him? What's going on? Problem is, values and humor, like sex, can seem to happen fast, but only fully reveal itself fully after a few months. And women And some women would take literal months to relax enough for sex to be in that good place where the cum was abundant. Accumbent?
Okay.
This guy is wild. And others never get there at all. My fault. It is.
What does he mean? My fault for what?
That he didn't make them come. He's like, I guess he's saying, I don't see how they come
And for 3 months because they have to get comfortable.
What is he, like a coach with like a stopwatch?
It sounds like very unappealing to have sex with this guy.
Yeah.
It sounds like he'd be judging you the entire time. He's got very specific needs.
Come on, Marianne, you're not coming at all. It's been
Relax.
3 months.
Relax, or I'm gonna dump you. If you don't.
How are we gonna win the big game?
This all sounds quite unsexy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever said this out loud. I don't know. There's like a spectrum. There's like he says this to women, or this is what he thought, never mentioned.
Or he's just observing
and
this
he's just
the whole
observing.
time. Yeah.
By that 3 to 4 month mark, I started to feel real pressure to end things if all the boxes weren't checked. That's partly due to the guidance of you up. We're involved.
Don't put this on us.
We did this to you.
Nothing to do with this.
When I started dating, I thought 6 to 8 months would pass before sexual partners would need a shit or get off the pot moment. Thanks, J&J.
All right. Well, we made
So
this.
shortened the.
We started
the review session.
Shortened the due diligence process for him. You're welcome, ladies.
And we're sorry. But I still kind of feel bad about the other relationships and think about how I could have done better. But you can't really rush some things, right? If I said on date 3, when we were finally getting busy, I'm half watching and judging you to see how and if you come to ascertain if you're an appropriate long-term fuck match, a girl would rightfully call the cops. Even if I said that on date 10, it'd be a deal breaker.
I don't agree. I think if he said it like that, maybe.
Okay.
I think to express your sexual needs early in a respectful way, not like this,
Right.
would not warrant a deal
Hey,
breaker or calling the cops.
Right. You could say, hey, I'm not really feeling this as a sexual connection right now.
Yes.
We're having, is there something I can do? Is there something?
Yes, this is what I really like in
Right.
bed. This really gets me off. Maybe.
Yeah.
Can you figure out a way to come from penetrative sex, please?
Hey, the way you come really bothers me. So I guess this is a question for Jordana. Oh, okay. So I don't have to deal with this guy anymore.
You're off the hook.
How is the best way for a guy to say, I'm not just fucking to get off, I'm genuinely interested in your sexual pleasure, but if you're not getting off with me, I'm going to low-key always assume you're thinking of a guy who did.
I think that's a him issue.
Yeah,
The first part, fine. I'm great. I'm genuinely interested in your sexual pleasure. Great thing.
End of sentence.
Yes, just end it there. The second part, I think, is a him issue that has nothing to do with the woman that he's dating, and sort of like shows that he's viewing. He has like a weird way that he thinks about sex.
I don't know why he's asking this question if he's so happily married and like.
I guess he feels bad that he's ended it with people without. Well, I guess we'll find out.
I don't know. Maybe there's no way to state something like that up front without being a turnoff or seeming weird, not to mention scaring off the lady come forever. But I think about how some of the women would have real hope for a relationship and never really understood why it ended when it did. And I still feel bad they were left wondering. I assume that's better than me telling them specific ways they didn't match my entirely personal, arbitrary list of preferences. What would it matter? That information couldn't help them in any way in their future search. Help, I leave it to you. Should I have gotten more specific? So he's feeling guilty that he ended these things in unspecified ways, and it was really because of their sexual style of coming.
Right. Well, first off, I would say this is very male to me.
Yeah.
Men often break up with you without telling you why, like without really giving you a super concrete reason. And I've talked about this before. I think that men and women break up very differently. I think women really try to make things work before they end it. They ask you specifically for what they want multiple times before they finally like give up and can't take it anymore. And I think men secretly just think something about you and then work up the nerve to break up with you.
I mean, in this case, he's like, she's not doing sex the way I like it. I'm going to be out. That's unfixable.
Right. And it sounds like an intrusive thought of his, like as they're dating, like she's never going to satisfy me sexually. There's
Mhm.
if she's not coming every time, she's thinking of someone else. Or that seems like that was like a weird that line I think was sort of like the answer is in the email
Right.
kind of thing, where if you're not getting off with me, I'm going to low key always assume you're thinking of a guy who did. That's a very sexually immature way of thinking
I
in my
agree.
mind.
It's not how I would think.
Like, what's the reason he thinks that? I would like to, if I were his therapist, I would unpack that.
Right. That's the that's about a 2-week session.
That'll cost you.
Listen, it would be a lie for me to say I've never thought of like my sexual future with someone.
Sure. That's fine.
That's totally understandable. How specific it gets is a little bit bordering on like a sex addiction,
Right.
thing going on. And I'm not even equipped to even make that diagnosis, but like this isn't unfamiliar to me, but it's not an email that I would ever think to write, especially if I was like he's got housewife.
Right.
Like he's gonna get married and everything's fine. Like, are you sitting there at night really worried about these women who you broke up with, or are you like
Actually worried about your sexual preferences.
right? Like, are you worried that like the person you're with now isn't gonna check all those? But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think maybe this isn't what he came for, but I think he has a lot of work to do on himself, just figuring out why these things are so important to him. Again, not that that can't be a priority of yours, is making sure you're sexually compatible. But the way that he's phrasing it, to me, he's like stating, how do I let these people know? Should I let these people know that that this was their issue? When really it's more like, why are these things so important to you is the thing to
Right.
unpack here. You're like asking the wrong question.
and are you an incompatible person with someone sexually because of all these things?
Mm-hmm.
Like we even said before, like he sounds like a very like structured guy sexually who thinks he's free and open.
Right.
And it's like, it doesn't sound like you're open to anything other than what
you want.
Right.
Right.
So,
Which gives me hesitancy about his ability to be a good partner.
right. I mean, these are conversations he needs to have with someone. I know he's trying to like joke it up and have fun with this email, which I appreciate that he listens and that he likes a good joke or two. But it's just, I don't know. It's, this, I don't understand where this, like, listen, if I was to separate the sex from this email, the separation is I feel guilt
About the way I ended things.
about the way I ended things with women. And listen, I have that feeling too. I think
well, that's the
right.
relatable part. I think
Right.
about how men break up with women a lot.
Right. And I have, we've talked about the one that gets away. Like that's usually a guy writing that email, the one that got away. And, we did an email in Red Flag Deal Breaker about the guy who made out with his high school crush.
Right.
And that I see as like a little bit of a one that got away. I never got the chance. I want to prove I can do these things. So I don't know, that's the only thing that I can see is like I have guilt for
Sure.
people I ended relationships with, and especially 3 to 5 months, because you go,
Did I waste that person's time?
More, did I give it a chance?
Interesting.
There's a lot of that. Did I see it all the way through? Was I open? Did I think I was being open and I wasn't?
And I think along those lines, and I think that's the more relatable
Right,
part.
and that's right
for
what
a lot
he's
of
saying
men
too.
who are, for some reason, afraid of bringing up a problem to work on. Right. I think a lot of men are like, when it's right, she'll be perfect. She'll be perfect
Right.
from the get go. I won't need to have this my house. What's he called the one?
What does he
I don't know
call
if he
her?
thinks he found this with the
Big old house.
with the
bitch.
big old house. I
This
found
old house.
everything was perfect immediately, and
Yeah.
and I think a lot of men are of that opinion. Like when it's right, there won't be anything to talk about. I won't have to work through anything. And I think that's why a lot of men end things. Women would say prematurely, or men might say like because it wasn't right. But I think a lot of women, when they get broken up with, are like, if you had just told me, if you had just told me that this was really important to you, I could work on getting there.
Right. And again,
You didn't give me a chance.
We're removing the kind of weird
Yeah,
sexual
this one's
stuff
weird.
from this, but
Agreed.
the at its core, I can relate heavily to 3 to 4 months, 3 5 months, and going, well, if I just had a perspective shift, I'm in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like almost daunting. Like it's almost scary. And,
Interesting.
as far as like, you know what I mean? Like, cause I'm like, I know I have the ability to just go along. I'll be in it. I'll be happy. This person seems great. And I know women when they say to you, like, I'm not looking to get married.
But they are.
But I'm also of the knowledge that, like, and this is maybe ego, they are, but they also, I think I trust their opinion more now looking back.
What do you
Where
mean?
they're like, I'm not looking to get married. Well, I don't think they're trying to get married. I think
they're not like, I need to get married. I think they're more like, I'm willing to see this through.
right.
And you're not.
And I'm so afraid that seeing it through would mean that I'd be okay, but not great.
But you could end it at any time. They're saying, like, most women would say, I think if you could give a woman that option who's 3 months in with someone with a guy who's thinking this way, who's thinking, there's this thing, I just don't know if I can go there, get there, do that. There's these little things that I keep kind of like intrusive thoughts that I keep thinking that are sort of negative things about this person that I might be overblowing in my head. I think most women would say they'd rather hear about those things and know they were an issue and at least try to work them out before ending it than not hearing about them. And then the guy just kind of out of nowhere seems to break things off.
Well, and then to give an answer to that, it's a choice between work and no work.
Right.
And
but relationships are work.
Right. And I think a lot of men are lazy with these things. We don't work on our relationships. We don't work on we said it on Wednesday's episode. Hudson Street in New York City is all women with their friends having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's work.
Yeah. But we like
it. Right. You like it, but I'm saying women, their friendships, they work on them. I don't have it. My friendships are the least work in the entire, there's very little work, very little upkeep.
Right. Well, I think that's
so I have there's a little bit of a fear of like, I could either go forward month 6 and let this person know of the fears I have, the work I think that we have to do, the things I'm really like, the intrusive thoughts that I have to sit with that person who now knows more about me and the kind of the demons in my head about us.
Right.
Have to maybe have them mad at me for a period of time. Maybe have to like work through those things. Or I say, good luck with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm eating out of a plastic bowl.
Living the best life.
Having the best life with no work to do at all.
Well,
and I notice this in me, if I'm, again, to personalize, it's like, there's like an opt for laziness.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I think as you said, relationships are work, but go ahead.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is there, in your mind, a woman out there who you don't have to work at anything with? That it's just, it's just
not
flows.
It's not even the woman. It's not about like, this is the
idea of a woman.
I think the relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's like this idea, I've even said, I want to date a pain in the ass. It's not someone being chill, not chill.
No, I'm saying but is there in your mind, is it like, I just haven't met the person where there's nothing to work on? Because there's going to be, don't you feel like
I've never met that. I've never met that
right,
person.
But I'm saying like,
that's a delusional thing that I probably have is like,
don't you feel like realistically, like anyone you meet, whether it's now or in 3 months or in 3 years, there's going to be something you need to do?
Of course. And from that whole thing of like, oh, you'll know. Like, when you see it, you'll know. I get told that a lot by some people. And that's a romantic idea that, there's work, but this person is pushing you towards delusion.
Mm-hmm. But that's a certain mentality too, I think.
Right. That person makes you forget the work because the connection's so good. That's something people say.
But there's also the kind of person who like sees past the work or like wants the bigger picture.
Right. Well, the bigger picture. Are you ready for the bigger picture? This is like, well, that's also the cab light thing with Sex and the City. Like, you're willing to do the work to get to the bigger picture because you've had it with this other thing.
Right.
You know, you've had it with going to bars and
Maybe that's what they should call married men, like you said on the last episode with Boise.
they've had it.
They've had it.
Yeah.
It's all male fiancés are just the I've had it.
Just the I've had it. It's the guys that have been like, I've had it with this bar and going on first dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's funny that this email, as gross and horrible as it was,
I think it speaks.
At
I
its
think
core,
there's
you
a
know.
total relatability, and that's what I caught at the end of like. I think a more male thing. I'm not going to say there aren't women who feel this way, but I think a more male idea of when it's right, I won't even have to have this hard, difficult conversation.
none of these thoughts will come into my brain. And
Right.
that's just not true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was true in my relationship
Yeah.
at all.
No,
I mean,
you get scared. This is the next phase of life. The changes are coming. Changes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we leave you with that.
We solved dating
We did it.
on a more realistic. This episode did all.
We went
the
everywhere.
things. We did it all.
As we do. Great
So,
seeing you.
Great to
Great
see
being
you.
back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
And listen, people, we'll see you next episode. Boom.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Belle Roman and Candice Maniga. Edited by Belle Roman. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. VP of podcast is Chris Allen. And be sure to follow You Up at u.up.podcast.